Hello guys and welcome back to another one with us, the Review Bros, and today we're going to be reviewing a pre-workout, a non-stim in fact, called Pump Surge by Koka Labs, and we know them for such crazy pre-workouts such as Explosion, Dexter Halloween, and of course the original Dexter, and a bunch of other pre-workouts. So how will they fare when it concerns their non-stim pre-workout, as we cover the usuals, the taste, the price, the label, and most importantly, the real world effects. How will it come through? And if you are new here and you like our videos, please do hit the like button, tick the bell icon, tick the subscribe button, because we drop about 3 reviews a week. But let's get into this one. Okay, so first up is taste and mixability, and we've got the pleasure of trying strawberry lemonade flavour. So a nice level scoop has gone in about 2 minutes ago, settled for a bit, but you know what, mixability is not too bad as non-stims go, because normally they don't mix the best because of all the pump ingredients. So I'd actually say on a mixability front, a bit better than average, but let's see how it tastes. Yeah, it's really good. It is a good one. There's no nastiness coming through on the back end. I'm getting the hints of the strawberry and the lemonade. Strawberry on the front end, lemonade on the back end. Nice sweet flavour, not overbearing, not overpowering, no nastiness. Very accurate. I'll give it one more sip and then I'll give you a score. Yeah, no, that's really good. I'm actually happy to give that a solid 9 out of 10. So let's move on to that price point. Let's talk price. So if you want to pick this up, you'll head over to crossthelimits.co.uk, where you can use our discount code RB5%. You have to use the percent symbol. You can knock off 5%, obviously. You can pick this up for £27.55, and that is for a full 25 servings, which is very nice to see. Now, when you break that down into the servings, it's going to come to £1.10 a go. And if you are a regular viewer of our channel, you will know that we have a consistent pricing scale that measures how expensive pre-workouts are, where a 5 out of 10 is obviously a bang average price point for a typical pre-workout on the market. This comes in at a very nice 8 out of 10 on the pricing scale. So it's priced way better than your typical pre-workout, so it is affordable. Let's see what we're getting for that money though. Okay, let's get into this label. What is this pre-workout pack-in? So, it's one of these ones where it doesn't actually tell you the serving amount, it just simply says 1 scoop, which if you've watched our channel, we're not a big fan of that because we're all about transparency and knowing exactly what you're getting. But if you do happen to do a flat scoop, you get about 16 grams, which to my calculations works out around about spot on, allowing a few grams of flavouring. So, with that being said, let's get into it. So, first up, we have got L-citrulline malate at 6 grams. We don't know whether it's a 2-to-1 ratio or a 1-to-1 ratio, but either way, we're scraping by with an okay amount of L-citrulline, certainly enough to at least get things moving when it concerns bumping up nitric oxide levels, increasing blood flow, and getting you that pump on. So we'll take that. Obviously a staple pump ingredient. Then we've got betaine anhydrous at 3 grams. Very nice dose, 500 milligrams above what we typically see. Jack of all trades ingredient, in that it helps with your endurance, your power, your pumps, and even a bit of cognitive aid in some studies. Then we've got L-tyrosine at a nice dose of 2 grams, double what we normally see, amino acid responsible for mood elevation and focus. And then we've got agmatine sulfate at 1500 milligrams, a very nice dose. That will be pairing with the L-citrulline to further increase nitric oxide levels, helping you get that pump on. And it's also been known to increase the amount of time you stay pumped, so it's a pump extender, if you will. And then we've got Himalayan pink salt at 300 milligrams, which is not too bad of a dose. Always happy to see it in pre-workouts because it's obviously going to help with your electrolytes, your contractions and pumps as well. So we have a basic bread and butter formula, but everything that's in there is dosed pretty damn good. And it's obviously covering the nitric oxide pathways to a pretty decent degree, a bit in there for endurance and a bit in there for focus. So it is covering everything that you would typically look for in a non-stim. So let's see how it comes together in the gym. Okay, let's talk real world effects in the couple of times we've used Pump Surge, the non-stim pre-workout by Koka Labs. And they've never let us down in the past with their other pre-workouts, so we had high expectations going into this one. Now, what I will say, and you probably gleaned it from the price segment, it is more of a budget non-stim, as I would like to call it, because although, yes, it is pretty well dosed across the board, there's not too much in it in terms of they could have had more focus ingredients, they could have had 1 or 2 more pump ingredients, they could have had a bit more in there for endurance and power and things like that. But what I will say is, for that price point, you are getting a very good pre-workout. But I digress. Let's get into it in the real world effects. So, nitric oxide production, obviously that's the main pathway they're going down here with the pumps, and that does very much come through in the gym. Couple of sets, the pumps are coming on. My vein, specifically in my left arm, was absolutely swelling on biceps today, so that's sort of like my judge for how pumped I'm getting on a pre-workout. If it's absolutely swelling out of my arm, then we know it's a good one. If it's not, they're not so good. So yeah, the pumps, it is ticking the box. I mean, what more is there to say? It's a basic one. You're getting your pumps. Focus, not all too noticeable, to be honest with you. Yes, it has got the L-tyrosine in there at 2 grams, but there's no, quite obviously, caffeine and other things to help bolster it up. So maybe it is doing some background bits, but nothing to the point where you'd be like, oh yeah, I've taken a nootropic today. So yeah, it's there, but to a mild degree. We'll take it though. With regards to the power and the endurance side of things, again, that's very much hard to measure and hard to pick out in your training because it's such a vague thing in terms of so much plays into that. You could argue the same for pumps really, in terms of, you know, how well hydrated you are, how many carbs you've had, how you've slept, how the weather is, all these crazy things. But anyway, all I'm trying to say here is that you do get pumped on it. I do think it's worth the price point, but you have to manage your expectations based on that. You're not going to be getting pumped off your absolute head like some of these other non-stims that are being offered on the market that are coming in at, you know, 25, 30, 35 gram serving amount. This is about 16 grams. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily below average, but I would say it's about average for a pre-workout. In fact, it probably is a bit below average in terms of a non-stim pre-workout serving amount.
Savage pumps in the gym and the bedroom. Wolf pump.
So yeah, they're not going to be the best pumps you've ever had in your life, but you definitely will get pumped on it. I can tell you that much for free. So as non-stim pump formulas go, I would say the pumps are good. They're not average, they're not bad, but they're also not incredible and amazing. They're sitting reasonable. Like I said, worth that price point. I think you're getting a bit better of a pre-workout than you're paying for. So who would I recommend this to? To people that are obviously on a budget and want a non-stim. And I really do think that is it, guys. There's not too much to say on it. You know, there's only a handful of ingredients in it. It is a non-stim at the end of the day, so it's not going to be anything too crazy. But all I can say with my hand on my heart is say it does do the job. It is worth the price point. There's no negatives that come of it, so there's no digestion issues. Quite obviously, where it's a non-stim, it's not going to mess with your appetite. It's not going to keep you up all night. So it's going to be perfect for people that train late or simply just don't want stimulants because maybe you're sensitive to them, for example. So yeah, I think that does cover it all. It's only a quick one because, like I said, there's not too much to say. So yeah, I feel like they could have done a more fleshed out non-stim if they'd increased the price point. But then again, they've obviously on purpose gone for a more budget friendly option. And that's never a bad thing, is it? If it's well dosed and it comes through in the gym, and in this case, yes, it does. So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. If you've used it, if you want to use it, is there anything else you want to see us review on the channel? You know what to do. Oh, actually, before I just round off with our little catchphrase, I will say I'll put this in the shortlist category for a non-stim pre-workout. Because yes, you are getting a good pre for the money, but there are also better non-stims out there for not too much more. Maybe an extra £5 or maybe a £10, and you can get a much more stacked formula. So yeah, I would say shortlist it if you're in the market for a budget-friendly non-stim. There we have it. So anyway, guys, as always, stay pumped.
Don't make me beg, back to the room, let me show you my bed. a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me